us just briefly about the significance of the announcement?
Well, we're a bilingual country. I think that's what's significant. And our federal immigration system has never been as good as it really should have to make sure that Francophone communities that are vulnerable have the level of immigrants to make sure that these communities that suffer like other rural communities in Canada, the draw from big urban centres. But it's even worse and more acute when it comes to languages, which is the heart of anyone's culture and identity, the way they express themselves, and making sure that we have Francophone immigrants, and the federal government is doing its job to make sure Francophone immigrants are attracted to these rural communities, which are often smaller, is one that's excessively important. Last year I announced, as Darryl mentioned in introduction, an increase from 4%, which we reached with difficulty, to 6%, so 50% more for this year. We're on good track to achieving that to 7% and 8% in the next couple of years. But it can't just be a question of volume, it has to be a question of integration and proper supports, what the federal government can only partially achieve, but we need to make sure that these communities are well supported. So today I'm announcing 10 more communities that is part of our Welcoming Communities program. There are 24 across the country that do welcome Francophones as their first experience in Canada. It's important that they have the proper support when they're getting into those communities. So we announced 10 more, about a third to half of which are in the Maritimes. And then the project pilot that you asked me a question about, which is to make sure that students that are in a Francophone institution, it makes sense they're coming here to study in French and get their first exposure to being integrated to Canada through a post-secondary institutions, have an accelerated pathway to permanent residency. This is part of the structure that we need to continue to impose as we increase the numbers of volume of people that come in here, because it can't just be a volumes number where everyone goes to a large urban center and then integrates into a largely Anglophone environment. So I think these are important for our national identity, or they're equally, if not more important, for the communities that are depopulating and need immigration. Immigration is one of the answers, but it's not the answer to everything. But it is indispensable to this discussion. And that's something I'm proud of and I'll continue to work on. And I think our government will continue to push as we make sure that we have thresholds for communities that are Francophone speaking outside Quebec, that they have that vitality they've been asking for so long.